It's not every day we get a brand new Cars 2 character as a diecast. And here we have, we finally have a new one. It's Colin Bohrev. May not even know where this guy appeared in the movie because he's not a very prominent character. He actually just appears in the end scene of Cars 2, right when Finn and Holly are going to Radiator Springs to meet the townies and everything. During the Radiator Springs Grand Prix, that's where this guy appears. I guess he was probably a World Grand Prix fan, probably a fan of McQueen, probably just a passerby, and decided to check out the event because, of course, that's how the World Grand Prix ended. The last race had to be in Radiator Springs. So, that's kind of a rundown of this guy. There's really not much else to know about him. Here he is. Can't believe Mattel finally released a brand new Cars 2 character, and not one, but two this year. Of course, we also have Revni Grilante, who is actually a little bit more a prominent character, I'd say. A little cooler, maybe. He's a little white taxi cab who works for Vern's Taxi from Cars 1. So, another one that was hard to believe they released. And they got it right. He does appear in Cars 2. But other than these two guys, there's not a ton of other notable releases, other than Otis is pretty cool too that they released. Francesco, he's been released many times. Sarge, I guess he's Cars 2. Lee Race, who is the first chase to ever be re-released, which is kind of odd. Trisaki has been released many times. Ramon Green, otherwise known as Artist Ramon, who is, I don't know why they call him Ramon Green, but it was a nice release. I didn't get him yet. And Wasabi Milkmaker, who is just a meh kind of release. But he is kind of cool, I guess. There's other ones that were released, not too many. A lot of them did appear in the Wheel Well Motel scene, so kind of odd. And then some Tokyo cars like Kabuto, Trisaki, as you saw. And not much else, though. Mater with Balloon from the Wheel Well scene. Of course, World Grand Prix McQueen, Miguel Camino, Todoroki, and Lewis Hamilton. But other than that, I think that's all of them, actually. It's not very many. Compared to some years, we've gotten more. But compared to last year, I would say it's definitely better. Compared to 2021, I just love how this guy looks. He reminds me of an old van my family used to have, an old Ford, what's it called? Ford Freestar, the green colored one, very popular van in the early 2000s. And just cool, nice little artwork. Very nice. I only have one of them, but I know I have two other ones coming for Christmas, so I thought I'd crack this one open, because it won't be another month until I get those. And I like that they acknowledge that he's new for 2022. For some reason, they did it with the first new car for the year, Mater with his larger tow hook. They labeled him as new, but then everyone previously, until I think this guy, so like Dana Crankoff, Bertha Butterswagen, Revni Grilante, Jay with VR headset, all those cars weren't labeled as new, which is weird because they are. But there is a variant of this guy that without the new for 2022 packaging, so I'm getting 3 of them. I wonder if one of them will possibly be that variant. That would be kind of cool. But anyway, there's not too much else to say about him. Well, while he's in the package here, he does have a cracked blister. Another reason why I wanted to open him. So, without any further ado, let's get them all opened up. Ironically, this isn't the only minivan Mattel has released this year for 2022. Of course, the other one, which was actually also new for the year, was Mr. Keith Cone. So, it's pretty cool because they actually used the same blister. They are the same exact shape, but they're technically different models, as you can tell, because Keith's a little bit of an older minivan, I would say. He has those lines going across, whereas Colin, almost forgot his name, he doesn't have that. So I think he's a little bit newer, as he did appear in Cars 2. This guy's probably more of a 1990s minivan. I would say Colin's probably more of a early 2000s. But anyways, he's very, very simple, very minimalistic. I love that he has no mouth plate and no plastic eye plate. So a lot of metal, which is cool. Nice tiny little mouth, giant eyes. Tiny little grill too. Nice big headlights though. He has the opaque window so you can't see in. And his rims are very shiny but very simplistic. Reminds me of like spare rims, like on a spare tire but painted silver. In his back, I like that they did. There you can see the headlights, or the taillights, I mean. I'm very glad that they decided to actually color these ones, because as you can see on Keith Cone, they didn't paint them for some reason. I don't know why. They just kept it the same color as his paint. So I'm very glad they didn't do it on this guy, because he would have looked even worse because he's green. So at least Keith has red paint, or like brown paint, so it kind of looks like taillights. There's his license plate though. Let me try zooming it in. I don't know exactly what it says. Loopsylvania. JN0609. Clearly the initials of some kind of Pixar employee, I would say. Most of the license plates are. Loopsylvania. Obviously, it's supposed to be Pennsylvania. And a lube is, I think, I don't know, something to do with cars. A tire, I think. Kind of an odd name for a town. But, yeah, there's really no decals on him at all. He does have nice little roof racks. My dog just sneezed in the background. Yeah, nice little roof racks on him. I love his little expression. I'm glad it's different than Keith's. Once again, to compare them. Completely different model, as you can tell. Because Keith has a giant mouth. And, of course, like I said, his wheel wells and his side and back all have, I don't know, whatever that thing is. That gray thing. Colin doesn't have that, which is cool. I like how it differentiates them a little bit. Well, obviously you can tell he's a minivan because he has the two handlebars on his doors connected. So this door, I guess, would open up through the back. Very cool release. I love these tiny little releases. You would never think would get made as a diecast, but they do. And then we're surprised. Some of the best kind of cars. Flip them over, see his face. There's his date stamp, R21A. I used to think I could read date stamps, but now I'm not sure what it means. The 21st week of probably 2022, I would say. Made in Thailand, obviously. Yeah, it's almost like a, I guess it's gray. It almost looks brown though, on the base. Which is interesting. A lot of Thailand cars have brown bases. But anyways, I don't really know what else to compare it to talk about with them. I mean, I have some things to compare them to though. Here's another minivan that was released in 2022. Melissa Bernabreak, which is Maddie McGear's mom. She is more of a modern minivan, as you can tell. I feel like she's a bit underscaled too. It should probably be a little bit bigger. Looks more like an SUV than a minivan. But cool little release. Colin's definitely better though. Who else do we have? Another one of the same model. Oh, Revlin from Cars 3 also. From Thunder Hollow. Then we have Lost in the Desert van. And Lost in the Desert Mini. I don't have the regular versions of Mini and van. I don't know why. Oops. Then we have Leroy Traffic from Cars 1. Obviously. With his tiny little tire. The highway van. And Leroy Traffic with snow tires. It was actually released last year. So Mattel seems to... Leroy with snow tires here was actually released last year in 2021 as a deluxe. And now the deluxe line has been canceled, I think. So don't expect to see him back ever, or anytime soon at least. But anyways, I don't know what else to say about Colin. He's so simple, but I think it's just a perfect car. I really love these small background characters you can just put in the background of if you're doing like a stop motion, or just put them on your shelf. Pretty cool car. It's interesting that Mattel still releases things like this, because I feel like they wouldn't sell amongst kids very well, because they're just plain background characters. No one knows who they are, especially from Cars 2. I'm pretty surprised about that. I love that they picked out, like it seems like they're going by series. Obviously they're doing the World Grand Prix series, like a mini version of it. Then it seems like they're doing the Wheel Motel series, where this guy and Revni Grillante would fall under. Made her with balloon, cars like that. So it's interesting, they don't have series anymore, but it still seems like they're still doing a series, but more secretively. And then you have some more obscure characters like Chisaki and Kabuto, who are not really in a series, I guess, because they didn't decide to release Suki or Harumi or any of the other ones. Then you have Hot Rod River Scott, who's also doesn't really fall into a series this year, because he's the only legend they released, so it's very strange. But luckily next year we'll have Cars Toon cars in the main line, so I think that's kind of more like fulfilling as to not having a series, because now just release any car you want. But anyways, I think that's all for this guy. Show you some upcoming reviews I want to do. I wouldn't mind doing Craig Baster here. I did a showcase on him, but he's so cool. I'd like to do him again as a review. And, oh yeah. Well, the other day I came in my room and I found my dog that completely destroyed my Speeding Through Radiator Springs 4-pack. Luckily, none of the cars were really damaged and the sign was okay. But I got another one from Amazon, Black Friday deal. So we'll be reviewing this, probably the next review. Of course, it included McQueen, DJ. I only ever had the flame versions of the tuners, so I guess they're new, technically. Wingo. And Sheriff. So, and then it included 4 cones, which is kind of cool. Anyways, yeah, hopefully we'll get around to reviewing Revni Grillante soon, if I can ever find him. And Dana crank off a lot of other cool new cars for 2022. But with that, I think that's all. Thanks guys for watching. See you next time on the Cars Garage.